Yo, what's good everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be breaking down the NHL DFS slate for Thursday, January 12th. And we got ourselves a 12-game slate here tonight, where I'm going to go through a couple of my favorite line stacks, some of my favorite individual plays, and some of my favorite value plays, and then we'll wrap up the video talking a little prize picks. With that being said, let's dive into my spreadsheet here. And we're going to kick things off here like we always do in the top left-hand corner with those highest implied game totals, where you can see 5 of these games are coming in with an implied total of 6.5 goals, 5 games coming in at 6 goals even, and then these games here between the Stars and Rangers and Wild and Islanders coming in at 5.5 goals. And then take a look down here at the Vegas odds, where you can see each team who's favored to win tonight. Now, as a reminder, here's where I'm at in terms of content this week, putting my video schedule up on the screen here right now. With that being said, let's dive into a couple of line stacks that I like here for tonight, starting with that first line for the Winnipeg Jets. We got Dubois, center, and Connor and Ehlers. There is so much offensive upside here with these three, and I like the matchup tonight against the Buffalo Sabres, who've allowed 3.46 goals per game this year, the 9th most in the NHL, and all 3 of these guys are currently playing up on the #1 power play, and Buffalo's penalty kill has not been very good this year either, the 4th worst in the NHL, hitting at a 72.4% rate. Now, these guys have been awesome ever since the return of Nikolai Ehlers. That was just 3 games ago, but in those 3 games, these 3 have combined for 8 goals, 10 assists, 18 points, essentially averaging 6 points per game. And then a cheaper and maybe very contrarian line stack that I don't mind playing here tonight is that first line for the Arizona Coyotes. On a 12-game slate like this, maybe we don't need to get this contrarian, but considering I want to spend up for that first line out of Buffalo, I'm probably going to need to match that with a cheaper line stack, and this is one that stuck out to me here. Hayton, center, and Keller and Schmaltz. They're catching a Senators team at home here tonight who has played good hockey over the past month, but in their last 2 games they have not been good at all, allowing 11 goals in their last 2 games, so I'm hoping that Arizona can maybe catch this team on the road a bit vulnerable. That's at least my hope with this line stack here. They certainly can get on the score sheet, and I like that all 3 of these guys are currently playing up on the #1 power play right now, so strongly correlated line stack. They've racked up 8 goals, 15 assists, 23 points in their past 10 games. By no means glorious numbers, but again, they're certainly capable of getting on the score sheet and hitting 3-4x value. Now, folks, before we dive into some of my favorite individual plays here, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. And for those of you who are on Discord, don't forget I have a channel there as well. If you want to join that, link in the description below. We got a lot of people talking puck in there and talking some prize picks as well. Alright, now diving into some of my favorite individual plays here, we're going to kick it off with the forwards. First guy I got there is Max Pacioretty of the Carolina Hurricanes. Has been pretty damn good with his new team, albeit he just returned 3 games ago. He already has 3 goals and 13 shots on net. Playing up on that first line and playing on that #1 power play, where they're looking for him to shoot the puck as they should. He's got a ridiculous shot. He's got a great matchup here tonight as well against the Columbus Blue Jackets, who've allowed 3.93 goals per game this year, the 2nd most in the NHL, with a penalty kill that's hit at just a 75% rate. Now, I'm not entirely sure why DraftKings priced Braden Point down after last game. This is a guy who's racked up 13 goals in his last 11 home games and has a beautiful matchup at home here tonight to expand on that versus a Vancouver Canucks team that's allowed 3.93 goals per game this year, tied for the 2nd most with the Columbus Blue Jackets, and they legit have the worst penalty kill in the league, just sitting at a 67.8% rate. Let's just take a look here at Braden Point's game log at home this season. You can see here he's just been on an absolute heater, scoring goals at home as of late. I then got Drake Batherson there of the Ottawa Senators, and I kind of just like targeting this power play for Ottawa in general here tonight. Not only have they been one of the best power plays in the league, scoring at a 27.2% rate, but that penalty kill for the Arizona Coyotes has not been very good, just hitting at a 73.9% rate. Not a very good defensive team in general, that Arizona team, allowing 3.68 goals per game this season. That's the 5th most in the NHL, and they have certainly not been afraid to take penalties this year either, 4th most in the NHL with 164, and Batherson has kind of been the guy to shoot the puck on this power play. He's racked up 13 goals, 24 assists, 37 points this year, Of those 37 points, 19 of them have come on the power play, including 10 goals, and he's really just been playing some consistent hockey here over his past 15 games. You can see I'm pulling that up on the screen here right now, where he's racked up 7 goals, 10 assists, 17 points, with 9 of those points coming on the power play. Next is Evan Rodrigues there of the Colorado Avalanche, and I like this as an opportunity play here, being that he's up on that first line with Nathan MacKinnon right now, and he's kind of been sprinkling between the first and second power play, but played a majority of the first power play last game, so I hope that trend continues. Got a great matchup here tonight on the road against the Chicago Blackhawks, who've allowed 3.64 goals per game this season, 7th most in the NHL, with a penalty kill that's hit at just a 72.5% rate. And Erod's been good here up on that first line. You can see here his last 10 games, he's racked up 3 goals, 7 assists, 10 points, and I really like the way he's been shooting the puck as well. And then with this last play here in Riley Smith, do keep an eye on what the lines look like prior to puck drop tonight for the Vegas Golden Knights and Florida Panthers. I believe he's going to play on the second line with Jack Eichel and Jonathan Marchessault. If so, I really like that as a line stack. But I don't know for sure, because they did shuffle some things last game. If he's up on the number 1 power play, that's primarily what I'm targeting here, because the Florida Panthers take the most penalties in the NHL. Their penalty kill has not been very good this year, just sitting at a 75.5% rate, and this power play for the Vegas Golden Knights has been very solid, scoring at a 25% rate. So in general, just kind of targeting that number 1 power play, but I did like the price here for Riley Smith. I like the way he's been shooting the puck as of late, averaging around 3.5 shots on net over his past 10. 4 goals, 3 assists, 7 points during that stretch as well. Someone who's certainly capable of getting on the score sheet. Now, before we move on to the defenseman here, you notice I don't have anybody listed on the spreadsheet in the 4K range at the 4 position. That's generally something I like to do. But just the pricing in general on this slate is very tight, and I'm not in love with the value plays in the 2 to 4K range, so I will be looking to spend up at this position here in general. Even though there are quite a few top-tier defensemen on this slate as well that I'd like to pay up for, I'd rather punt at the defenseman position. With that being said, 2 defensemen I would be willing to pay up for here tonight are Victor Hedman and Thomas Chabot, and honestly, I'd pay up for Roman Josi, Cale Makar, Pietrangelo, Chychrun, and Burns too. All those guys really targeting them on the number 1 power play, but Hedman and Chabot in particular, I like the matchups for them. Talked about it earlier when I was going through Braden Point. The Vancouver Canucks legit have the worst penalty kill in the NHL. I watched it the other day against the Pittsburgh Penguins. They look completely lost on the penalty kill, so stacking up Hedman with some of those forwards for Tampa, that makes sense to me. Same thing here with Thomas Chabot. Good matchup on the road against the Arizona Coyotes, who are not only afraid to take penalties this year, 4th most in the NHL, but their penalty kill has not been very good either, and both these guys just log big minutes in general and very capable of getting on the score sheet. But if I'm looking to save some money here tonight at the defenseman position, which I will be looking to do, I really like Jake Walman of the Detroit Red Wings and K'Andre Miller of the New York Rangers. Walman is just sprouted out of nowhere. This guy is playing better what seems like every single night. He's logging around 19-20 minutes per game right now, playing up on the number 2 power play, playing on the penalty kill, really playing in all situations, and racking up DraftKings points in a number of different ways too. He's got 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points here in his past 10 games, averaging around 2.5, 3 shots on net per game, and averaging around 2.5 block shots per game too. Very capable of getting you that 3-point DraftKings bonus by blocking 3 shots in a game. That is all translated to him averaging 12.1 DraftKings points per game over his past 10. Not bad at all for a guy priced here at $3,900. And then with Miller there, he's actually got a very similar role to Walman. He's playing more minutes, logging around 22-23 minutes per night, but plays on the number 2 power play, plays on the penalty kill. He's racked up 2 goals, 5 assists, 7 points in his past 10 games, averaging around 2 shots on net and 1 block shot per game, so not racking up DraftKings points in a number of different ways quite like Jake Walman is, but he's still averaging around 9.4 DraftKings points per game over his past 10, and certainly capable of meeting 3-4x value at this current price. Now, before we dive into the goaltenders here, I noticed that my video might be lagging a little bit. I didn't catch that until I was talking about Jake Walman, so hopefully that hasn't been the case this entire video. It sounds like the sound quality is still very good, and really that's all that matters here. But if it has been laggy, my apologies. I didn't even catch that until we were going through the defensemen. But I got a couple of goaltenders here, and really quite like 3. Linus Ullmark is kind of the safe goaltender that I'm going with here tonight, and I don't even know why I used the Dr. Evil quotations there, because he has legit been safe all year long. In my opinion, he should be priced at $9,000 $9,000, so I'll take him here at $8,200. He's 22-1-1 on the season right now, with the goals allowed average of 1.87 and a save percentage of .938. He's legit been the best goaltender in the NHL this year. Now, in the mid 7K range, I went back and forth between Shesterkin and Sorokin, the two Russian goaltenders that we all love to play. We talked about this in my Discord, actually. I can't get Shesty right. It seems like the nights I play him, he gets 5 DraftKings points. The other nights, he gets 25 plus. So hopefully we can get him on the right night tonight. I like Sorokin as well for the New York Islanders, and honestly, if we're looking to punt even more, I don't mind Ville Husso of the Detroit Red Wings, who I believe is just $7,200 tonight. But in terms of goaltenders who are priced at $7,500, $7,600 and below, these were the two that stuck out to me. Again, along with Husso, but that would be tournament only for me. And as always, going to wrap up the spreadsheet here with 3 low-priced options or sub-4K forward plays. But again, everyone, not really thrilled with the value plays in the 2 to 4K range here tonight at the forward position. But these are 3 guys that are certainly capable of getting on the score sheet and hitting 3-4x value. First guy got there is Robbie Fabry there of the Detroit Red Wings. He's playing down on the 3rd line right now, but playing up on the number 1 power play. He just returned from IR 3 games ago and has already plotted 2 goals, playing around 16-17 minutes per night. Next is Zach Parise there of the New York Islanders, playing on the 3rd line in number 2 power play. He's got 12 goals, 7 assists, 19 points through 42 games this year, right around a half point per game type of player. He's also 3rd on the team in expected goals, so I do like to see that. He had a little revenge narrative here as well, playing against his former team in the Minnesota Wild. And then Calle Jarnkrok there of the Toronto Maple Leafs was playing up on the 1st line last night with John Tavares and Mitch Marner, especially being that Matthews was out. Plays on that number 2 power play too, and he's actually been really solid here as of late, racking up 4 goals, 7 assists, 11 points in his past 10 games, while averaging around 10.2 DraftKings points per game. Again, not bad at all for a guy priced here at $3,100. And then to wrap up this video here, I want to talk a little prize picks with you guys, and we're having ourselves a very good week so far here, where we're 5-0-1 on our picks. Gonna look to keep that rolling here tonight on this 12-game slate. But if you have not signed up for prize picks yet and you want to get in on this action, I got a promo code that you should definitely take advantage of. When you're signing up, use my promo code GRIFF, GRIFF, and Prize Picks will give you all the way up to a $100 match deposit. Again, you do not have to put $100 in. If you want to put in 50, they'll match 50. You want to put in 20, they'll match 20. They will legit match anything up to $100. Again, as long as you're using my promo code GRIFF, GRIFF, upon signing up. But for those of you who are already on Prize Picks, you know the plan of attack here. First and foremost, we love these big slates here, these 12-game slates. Give us a lot of picks to choose from. As you all know, I'm going to do my research on these picks individually and then let you know my final selections in a comment below on this video, and I'll be sure to pin that comment as well. And again, I am posting those picks in my Discord channel too, and if you want to join that, there's a link to do so in the description below. Alright everyone, that is going to wrap up this video here for today. As always, thank y'all for taking the time out of your day to watch the content here on this channel. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's have ourselves a great day here, folks. Let's win some money on this 12-game slate. In the meantime, I'm out of here.